Time. A new bridge shelter in East Village will hopefully bring big changes to San Diego's homeless crisis. KUSI's Dan Plant was at the shelter today talking to people on the streets about getting off the streets. He joins us live now with details. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening to you. Yeah, that's the whole idea behind all of this. And obviously this all sort of broke loose a couple of years ago when that hepatitis outbreak happened. People were dying in the streets and we all looked at ourselves and said, is this really America's finest city? Well, I think everybody answered no, not under these conditions. So that's when a private-public partnership between the Padres owners and the city of San Diego started putting up these bridge shelters, which is what this is. This is one of the bridge shelters. In fact, that used to be the Father Joe's bridge shelter, but they took it down because the space where it used to be is actually being used to build housing. Yes, you heard right, build housing. And that tent was taken down and moved to this location, and it's just about ready to open up for more people. There'll be about 180 people inside of there. But let me just show you. So there's the bridge shelter there, and if you're wondering about the need, well, just pan a little bit over here. And, well, there's traffic right now, but there's about 100 people on the street behind all these folks. And it always strikes me when I look up at these fancy high-rises as well, if Levecki can show you those, the big Levecki, the contrast between the haves and the have-nots is just unbelievable down here, where you see all these high-rise fancy apartments that start at $3,000 a month, and then you drop down and you see all these people sleeping in the streets. All of this housing available that's completely unaffordable to any of these folks. And a lot of other folks too. I mean, not just the folks living on the street. So these bridge shelters have become one of the answers to addressing the situation out here as the fourth largest homeless population in the country. So take a look at what's happening out here today.
In a place they call rock bottom, it sticks out like a beacon of light. All that's left now are a few finishing touches, and the Alpha Project will be able to touch a lot more lives.
Hopefully I can just get right on in here since this is a new one and I can get a fresh start, man.
Within the next few days, this so-called bridge shelter will offer a lot of people a fresh start. For people living on the street, this is more than a shelter. It's a symbol of hope, a symbol that somebody cares.
I'm on one of the lists, but you know, there's a bunch of people ahead of me, so I'm just waiting. Hopefully I can get in here because this one's just opening.
Ever since the hepatitis outbreak killed 20 people living on the street, things have changed a lot down here. Sanitizing the streets and sidewalks is one of those things. Along with the new shelters and new services, more people are able to get more help than ever before.
I lost my job. I'm an electrician. I went to school for it. Lost my job and lost my house and ended up out here.
But if things work out, this could be the time and the place where he turns everything around.
That's the plan. I want to get into one of these places and hopefully they'll help me get back into what I'm supposed to be doing, like electrical work or construction, anything of that sort.
And while living on the street is tough, getting off the street is too. Suddenly there are rules and regulations like getting clean and sober.
No, I used to be an alcoholic, but I quit cold turkey, just like marijuana, smoked marijuana for years, quit cold turkey one day.
And since low-income housing is almost non-existent in San Diego, this type of program is the only pathway for a lot of people.
It's like I'm at a standstill right now. Things was going good for me after like 30 days after I moved here. And it's like I'm kind of stuck right now. I need some direction.
Kind of stuck right now and need some direction, and those are really just the most honest words that I've heard all day. And the big Levecki is showing you what's going on right across the street. I don't know how many people these folks that you're looking at right here will be able to apply. We don't know how many folks can actually give up drugs, give up alcohol, but the numbers are a little bit startling when it comes to the homeless population. At least 50% have some kind of a drug or alcohol problem. We understand, according to the latest numbers, about 30% have a serious mental illness problem that's not related to drugs, that's other than drug-related mental illness. So there are a lot of very, very challenging issues out here when it comes to getting people off of the streets and into a program. But we have made more steps, and I'm proud of San Diego right now, I really am. we have made more steps than pretty much any other city. If you look at San Francisco, what's happening up there, it's an absolute shame. People are literally just defecating in the streets and nobody cares. Well, here in San Diego, after that hepatitis outbreak, a lot of people cared, and that is why all of this is happening. We're taking care of the people, the most vulnerable people in our society. The people who need it the most are finally getting the help. So it's pretty encouraging to see what's going on out here. Another 180 people will be off the streets into a bed, hopefully within the next day or so. Like I said, they had to put some finishing touches on here. Apparently there was a little leak in the roof, so they had to do a little leak repair. When they were washing it down, they realized that it was leaking, so they fixed that. But it's got, everything. It's got washer and dryer. It's got fire alarms. It's basically a little village in there inside of that tent. So that is what's going on here at rock bottom, you guys. 17th and Imperial. Things are looking better than they have in a long, long time. Throw it back to you guys.